convert to accounting. I became an accountant at age 40. And I was really somebody who made fun of accountants for the first 40 years of my life. My dad was a CPA, and he thinks it's hilarious that I'm an accountant now. But there were all kinds of signs when I was younger that I was going to eventually become an accountant. I was sort of the last person to know. No one else was surprised who knew me. When I was a kid, I had big, thick glasses. I had no friends really to speak of. I was a horrible athlete. When I was in elementary school, when we had recess, all the other kids would be outside and I would be inside doing my homework. All the other kids would be looking. What I was doing was I was trying to finish my homework so I could get home and play my little tabletop baseball game with dice. Stratomatic was something I was crazy about. So it was typical accountant stuff. I was such a bad athlete. Eventually, in 4th grade, they made us go out and play soccer. So they made me go outside and we played soccer all year. And by the end of the school year, I was the only kid in the grade who had not scored a goal. Now the other kids realized this, so the last week of school, they put the ball down in front of the goal and they all got out of the way. And I still didn't score a goal. But I knew my shooting percentage. I had figured out my shooting percentage, just like an accountant. Of course, it was 0%, so it was not terribly hard to calculate. But so there were all kinds of signs that I was eventually going to become an accountant. I went to school, got my degree, eventually passed the CPA exam. And I got a job working for a large public company in their finance department. Great job, worked there for a few years. And then I just recently got a job working for a small nonprofit as their finance director, El Futuro then. And there's some real differences between doing finance work for a large public company and finance work for a small nonprofit. For example, at a large public company, what you hear in the finance department is, we got to make our numbers for this quarter. What are you doing to get ready for the quarter? Have you gotten ready for all your reports for the quarter? What you hear in the small nonprofit is, I found the quarter! We're going to make payroll! Other differences between the large public company and the small nonprofit. In the large public company, the first week I was there, my computer malfunctioned. I picked up the phone, made a call to the IT department, and a couple minutes later, a nerdy guy was standing next to me and he fixed my computer. It was like magic. At a small nonprofit, the first week I was there, my computer malfunctioned. I picked up the phone, started dialing, and realized I was dialing my own extension. Because I'm not only the finance department, I'm also the IT department. And that's a little bit concerning when you consider that I am not Microsoft certified. I'm not Google certified. My primary qualification for doing IT work is I help my parents when they call me for a tech support, maybe twice a week. Another big difference between doing finance work for a large public company and for a small nonprofit. At the large public company, for lunch, you go to the cafeteria where you have 3 different menu options for your dining pleasure. At the small nonprofit, we have 1 refrigerator that has 3 different kinds of mold growing. And this week it's my turn to clean the fridge. But it's a fantastic job. I love the people there. I love the work that we do, the organization. The mission is very important to me. It's about making the world a better place for your kids, for my kids. I do have kids. I have a couple little girls. And the younger one is 4, and she's having a little trouble falling asleep. So what I do is I sing to her to try to get her to calm down and fall asleep. And she has figured out that if she asks questions to interrupt me during the singing, that she can prolong the process. And I've learned that if I answer each question, by the time we're done, it's morning. So I've gotten wise. And so I figured out I can just answer the questions while singing. And so I don't stop singing. I don't interrupt myself. I can answer the questions, and eventually she gets tired and falls asleep. And they're garden variety questions. Who sings this song? Is he married? Is he dead? What's his favorite food? Whatever she can think of. And it sounds something like this. Love me tender, Elvis Presley. Love me sweet. Priscilla Presley, let me go. Yes, he's dead. Drug overdose. And I love you. Ask your mom in the morning. Fried peanut butter banana sandwiches. So on and on it goes. Eventually she falls asleep. She's a great kid, and we're raising her to be a great kid and not to be a bully. I certainly remember the bullies who were around when I was a kid, and there's one in particular I want to tell you about. When I was in 2nd grade, there was a bully named Pepper Culpepper. It's a true story. He's a real kid, real name. And this kid used to beat me up on the bus every day in 2nd grade. And I would come home to my mom, I would say, "Mom, Pepper Culpepper beat me up again." And my mom would say, "Sweetheart, it's okay. One day you're going to be an amazing success, and Pepper Culpepper is going to be a nobody." I said, "Okay." So we went to different schools, I forgot about it, and then one day I picked up the newspaper and I read, "Pepper Culpepper wins Moorhead Scholarship." I said, "Mom?" "Mom, that's pretty prestigious." And she said, "Seriously, honey, don't worry. One day you'll be an amazing success, and Pepper Culpepper will be a bum." Okay. 4 years later, I picked up the newspaper again. Pepper Culpepper wins Rhodes Scholarship. I said, "Mom, that's even more prestigious." And she said, "Sweetheart, okay, all right, okay." Well, now, a couple of years later, I find out that the homecoming queen from my high school had left her position at Harvard University to go to England to marry Pepper Culpepper and support him while he's living in England. I told my mom this, and she said, "I'm sorry, sweetie, I was wrong." Pepper's much better than you. But I did become an accountant. So I got that going. Thank you very much.